Yo. I just got out another rehab clinic, that's an admission. There's a lot of shit I haven't addressed in active addiction. Come on, sit back and listen, I'm not a mathematician, but it's shocking adding up all the plastic cups that I'm pissed in. All the staff and clinicians asking about prescriptions, having a chat about my past habits and bad decisions. I'm a fuck up who ended up twisting caps.
All right, we are back. It is a beautiful Sunday afternoon. It's 12:06.
Yep.
Yeah, because Mohan was late, so it is an afternoon.
Chris,
now.
pull that mic into you.
Welcome back, Chris Mohan.
Thank you, fellas, for having me. I moved over a seat, too.
You are a permanent resident of pulling the cork. Now, listen, real quick, I want to get this out of the way because I don't want to fucking do it later in the show. Panuzzo is like a fucking hair up his ass that we didn't want to talk about health last week on the podcast.
Yeah. He'll get over it.
Listen, how much you down? Mohan? Almost 30 pounds.
Yeah, 28 and a half.
I'm down 10.
I'm down 14 since I joined.
So it works. Let's just say that.
It does work.
It works.
Don't put as much food in your mouth and walk more.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I really not that fucking crazy.
It doesn't take a genius.
Literally the walking. I never got 10,000 steps before I was in that fat guy group chat.
By the way, producer has like 9 of those that he's on, like with other fucking losers.
It's got to be exhausting for him.
He's a serious man. He's about serious business.
I don't think
You don't fuck around.
I don't
Can you
think he
imagine
gets,
what it was like for him to have to watch me and live with me?
Oh,
like he must have been just disgusted. Like, look at this fucking loser.
I can tell.
I wanted to ask,
even
is he
in that chat, I can tell that he just doesn't appreciate what I contribute and doesn't get the jokes that I send out to the
You
fucking
can feel the
atmosphere.
disdain
I
through
know.
the text.
Oh, you can feel it.
message.
It's real, by the way. It's real. It's in there. It's in there. Like I said, I have to have you gotta have respect. But it's like a respect from look at like weird art, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I mean, it's not for me, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like Ryan Ahern says this about music, and it's fucking hilarious. He's like talking about some musician, and he goes, he's not like us. He's like, it's like we make regular pizza, this guy makes deep dish. It's a different level of shit.
He's dialed in. And not like in the sense where like I'll be sitting at my counter 15 beers deep at 12:30 and I'm like, oh man, I gotta fucking dial in tomorrow. Dude. Not like that. He's fucking dialed in 24/7.
I gotta say, yesterday was my first day I didn't log shit in, right? And I'm like, how do you log in 127 millilitres? Like, can you log that in? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a great story. So yesterday was halfway to St. Patty's at the Irish American, and I played tunes. And great fucking day, by the way. I have to say that. Like Sean Boulaire, who's our fucking our guy who helped us do everything, like the golf tournament, everything. He organized it. All the Irish boys were there. By the way, I had on not this shirt. This is one of the ones that my buddy from Ireland got me, but I had on the Shane McGowan tribute. Fucking, they were like coming their pants. And Danny goes, "You know what's great about that shirt?" He goes, "It's the type of shirt that like dudes love, but you'd never get laid in." You know what I mean? Like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's for that. So anyways, fucking great time. Buggy was there. We had a blast. 12 a.m. The Irish boys were like shirts off. Fucking, we were singing Piano Man. I'm like, yeah, this is what a bar's about. This is not for Brian Panuzzo. This is for the fucking lads, you know. So this guy, Danny Norton, he's a piper. So they had the pipes in there. My buddy Mike Taggart's brother, Jay, who owns Hannah's Brewery in Melrose Freead, he was there. And this guy, Danny Norton, I'm talking about pipes. And I'm like, so what does a set of pipes cost? I'm like, talking a bottle of beer. And he's like, looking at me, he's like stock fucking, like if you were like central casting for like older guy from Boston who plays the bagpipes. That's what Danny Norton is, right? And we're drinking a beer and we're listening to these, like this traditional music. And he looks at me and he goes, oh, fuck. He goes, my wife's going to fucking kill me. He goes, I was supposed to bring home Chinese food 2 hours ago. But, all right, put your headphones on for a minute. This is what we were... I mean, that's what we were treated to yesterday.
I love it.
It was fucking unbelievable. And I'll tell you right now, I said to him, I go, I think we started doing like quarter way to St. Patty's, 3/4 the way to St. Patty's. Like, It was a fucking awesome day. We had a
That
fucking
band
blast.
you were filming was awesome.
Oh, they
too.
were unbelievable.
Those 3
They
guys.
were unbelievable.
They were awesome.
There was a young kid, Fionn, I can't remember his last name, but he played before me. And he was great. And he played so he starts playing, he plays Angels Montgomery, plays the Water Boys. I'm like, man, these guys are going to like hearing these songs twice. I guess fucking doing
Here's
them
my
again.
set list.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, you know what's funny? It is weird. Like with the Irish guys, it's just like such a part of their culture that they don't think of it as like a big deal. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, I play music. Like that's fucking part of what we do. You know what I mean? It's like, to us, I feel like it's a bigger deal. I am starting to get the bug again, by the way, and I have to say this. I'm putting it out in the world. I'm getting the bug to buy a new guitar.
Hell
It
yeah.
happens every once in a while. It happens every few years. New guitars aren't cheap. They're a few grand. But I'm starting to get that feeling. Like now, here's the thing about guitars. You can always resell them. Whereas Kevin Ma says you never sell anything. You
Yeah,
keep everything.
that's
There's like
what I mean.
25 amps and 25
You
guitars.
can always resell them, but will you?
I texted him this morning. I go to Kev. I go, I know what we're going to do when we're 65. And he's like, what? And I'm like, we're going to open a guitar store. And he goes, finally something to look forward to in my life. But it was a great day. It was a fucking awesome day. We had a blast. All right, we're going to do some little inside baseball on the show. First of all, we're taking next week off.
Yeah.
First week off in the history of the show, I think.
Yeah.
I have to go to South Carolina. It's just, it has to happen. The timing just, we can't work out a second show.
We got busy schedules.
We got busy schedules. Now, I'm going to give you real inside baseball. And we did not discuss this before the show. I want to say that. I talked to Fitzy like a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, I think we're going to end the show at the end of the year. Right? I'm like, I think we're going to end the fucking show. I think we've said it all.
This is true.
This
No.
is true.
This is true.
But you know what? I'm not fucking leaving.
Yeah.
So
I'm here.
listen,
gonna have to
being
kick me
in a
out.
relationship with me and being in any type of relationship with me as producer was.
So I've said it multiple times. You're a fickle.
And
You can turn on a fucking dime.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And last week before the show, I showed up and this is what Brendan lays on me. He's
Yeah.
like, I think we're done.
Way
I
to
was
take
like,
the wind out of the sails
I
right
was
before
like,
you
Roger,
record.
I was like,
no.
Roger that. No. It wasn't. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't bad. And I was like, yeah, I mean, all these fucking health shows are draining. It's fucking
Nobody wants to hear
killing
this
me.
shit.
It's fucking
You know what
boring
it
as
is?
fuck.
I feel like he gets like that, though. I feel like Brendan,
He's
you know,
fickle as
Dude,
fuck.
listen, my sweet, dear wife, Maggie Ahern, I don't know how she does it.
I know.
Right? Because every day it's something new with me. You know what I mean? Like, and I get it. Like, it's a lot.
I
when I
think-
get, like, go ahead.
For them, I think I'm talking about the wives.
Yeah.
I think for them to put up with us, they have like a filter in their ear where it's like, he's talking bullshit again. It's all bullshit. He's not serious right now. I know he's going to change his mind. He's a fucking idiot.
It's
And,
like-
and same with my wife.
Yeah.
She's like got the filter. You
Yeah,
know what I
no,
mean? She's like, look at him. He's fucking talking. Look, he's talking again. This idiot's talking again.
Amy's got the Charlie Brown womp, womp,
Yeah.
womp, womp when I talk. She's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
She's like,
So-
looking at my kids.
I'm like-
you listen to this idiot?
So it started when we weren't going to do the Halloween party. We were going to do an ugly sweater party.
Yep.
I was just kind of feeling like, oh, man, I don't know. You know? And now, I'm going to tell you right now, we got a big announcement coming. We're taking a week off,
Yeah.
and then a new permanent third co-host is joining the show.
Yeah.
I'm going to just tell you this right now. Don't text me. Don't ask me. This guy has been on the show before. Okay? That's all I'm going to say.
Let's go.
I'm not gonna fucking. You're gonna have to listen to find out who it is. You
So
gotta
we
like
went
it.
from ending the show to adding a third full time.
You know what?
chair.
That's how quick it turns with me. You know what I mean? That's how quick it turns. And it's like I understand. I'm like I must be the worst person to be in a relationship with. like it's like everything. Like it's like. So, anyways, yeah. Show's not ending. Show's gonna come fucking stronger than ever. All right. Our ugly sweater party is gonna be fucking sick. Now,
Yes.
people liked.
I'm already scouring the interwebs
I
looking
love
for
it.
one.
I love it. People a big Halloween party. Halloween party will come back next year. We got a bad date from the IA for the Irish American. It was like October 11th. Nobody wants to go to fucking Halloween party on October 11th.
No.
So we're doing an ugly sweater party. We're gonna blow it the fuck out. It's gonna be fucking huge. It's gonna be at the IA. I talked to Danny about it last night. By the way, Danny's doing great. For everybody who's wondering, he's doing awesome. He was doing a show last night at Faces. He did a comedy show last night. So he's doing great. I got to see him. Got to see his kids. He's doing awesome. His kids had a hair. Brendan, his son Brendan, looks like Sideshow Bob. This kid's head of hair. Speaking of cartoons, which we're doing today.
The kids love that hairstyle right
Dude,
now.
you know what the funny is? Tommy, I think, is the only kid who has like a regular old school haircut.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that
Will must, right?
Will? One time I went over
He's got like a marine cut, right?
One time I went over to my sister's house, right? And Will's wearing a light gray
Blazer.
Carhartt like work jacket, and she's got him like taking mulch out, and I go, looks like this kid's working in the gulag, like in fucking Russia. She was like, oh, I think he wants to go to Mass Maritime. I'm like, that's perfect for him. Like,
Yeah, he'll fit
Yeah,
right.
it is
he'll
a
fucking
haircut,
love
high
it.
and tight.
Gonna fucking love it. So, anyways, Ugly Sweater Party's gonna blow it out. It's gonna be fucking great.
It's gonna be great.
We'll give you a date. I'm gonna get a date locked in the next 2 weeks, and it's gonna be in the IA. Also coming back, by the way, we have not discussed this either. Patreon party coming back.
Let's go. I was just going to mention that.
So here's what we're gonna do for the Patreon party. Last year was here in the bar. It was a lot.
a lot.
It was great. We had a fucking blast.
I
We
left before it got to be a lot.
We had you did the Bob C.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Irish
it.
By the way,
goodbye.
Bob C is also on our fat guy chat. He was in Italy last week.
Oh, what
I think
a
if-
fucking
I think if-
food
what
he
a
was
fucking-
eating. Yeah, what
oh
a vacation he had.
God.
I think if in 2005 you were like, this kid will be on a horse in Italy riding a horse, you'd be like, least likely to do that would
Yeah.
be Bob C. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Also, by the way, I have to say, somebody reached out to me, was like, the Patreon is worth it just to re-listen to the Bob C episodes. Like the Patreons for Bob C, where he really gets into like his real fucking
Dude,
The real dirt.
real dirt.
Yeah, his a great. Last week's Patreon with just me and you was fucking fire.
It was great.
I
Yeah.
thought it was hilarious.
Last week's episode, both of them were really good.
Yeah.
Actually.
Both
yeah.
were really good. Yep.
Yeah. We were draining a little bit, and I was the fuck. I'll tell you what, I was the fucking drip. A couple episodes ago, I was a fucking drip. I was down in the dumps, Loserville, population Brendan Hearn. You know what I mean?
That's why he wanted to quit the podcast.
Yeah, because of me. I hate him myself.
But
Sometimes
then
I get
that's-
so sick of myself that I'm like, fuck this guy.
Even when he told me, I was like, yeah, it's about time.
Yeah, you do suck.
Yeah,
Like,
it's run its course.
You've been terrible.
Yeah, you've been fucking horrible. But no, so that's coming back. So what we're gonna do with the Patreon party is, and this time I think everybody will be able to come, is we'll come here for like a little happy hour type thing, a little cornhole that, and then we'll go to the IA. And if you're a lifetime member, we'll buy you drinks. If you're Mohan or Bob C, we'll buy you as many Diet Cokes as you want. You know
I
what
ate
mean?
ginger ales for the win.
I ate ginger ales. I know you. Is it dueling that rates
Yeah.
ginger ales? Yeah, got high level. Okay, so
We're going to have like a salad bar and
yeah. Panuzzo just drops in. You know what I mean?
instead of having jumping doobie.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I have to say this real quick, and I just want to say it. Panuzzo is like out there doing God's work. He also does this thing that he has. I hope I'm not talking out of school, but I don't think I am. He wouldn't give a fuck. He has like affirmations or like things that like he like has fucking planned for his life. Like of like he's like, I will be fucking having a private jet and shit. I'm like looking at it, I'm like, man, I was just like, my affirmations are like, I'll try not to drink on Sunday. You know what I mean? This kid's like, I will have like a fucking third cousin named Theo. Like it's very in depth. You know
Has
what I
he
mean?
been like that since college?
Listen, there's a reason that Brian is successful. The reason that he is successful is like he takes things seriously.
Yeah.
Like he went on a full ride for hoops, and at the time I didn't appreciate it. Now I semi-appreciate it. I do appreciate it. He's just like been driven. You know what I mean? That's how he's always been. And if you're a fuck up like us, you need a guy to fucking kick you in the ass.
Yeah.
The David Goggins thread. You know what I mean? Okay, so we're gonna draft cartoons today, but I got a couple things. You got a 50s corner today
I do.
for cartoons?
Yeah, I'm not ready for it yet, though.
No, I know.
I'll tell you when it's coming.
When you're ready.
Do an ad before we start. Get one out of the way.
Sure. Misguided Spirits. Listen.
Big Bad James.
If you are gonna fucking drink vodka on a Sunday. You'd want to be drinking this.
Yep.
MisguidedSpirits.com. Ball Square Fine Wines. This stuff is as good as it gets when you're talking about hot booze. You know
I
what I
love
mean?
it.
As far as I'm concerned. You can order it online, by the way, and get it delivered to your house. Unless you're in Michigan. I think they don't distribute there. But you can get it there. It is fucking excellent. MisguidedSpirits.com. That's our guy. Big Bad James. All right. By the way, Mohan, we'll do another quick ad. Ben Franklin Print Company. Let me just say this right now. You weren't even fitting into this shirt.
Dude, it was literally a sausage casing.
Yeah.
It was just fucking rolls and everything else. Bitch
Yeah.
tits, which I still have. Thanks, Fitzy, for reminding me that. But this thing's like swimming on me now, and it is buttery soft.
You know
I
what's
will
funny?
say. It's
Talking
my
about the
favorite
fat guy
shirt.
thread. There's this guy that I followed. Like when I start getting into like shit, then I just get into it, and I was into this weight loss contest. Anyways, this guy Paul Ravella has this YouTube channel. It's pretty good. Like he does the walking. He's like, yeah, and the guy's ripped, and he's like, people are like, how do I get like rid of my bitch tits or whatever? And he's like, dude, he's like, your body is like a paper towel roll, and he goes, every time you pull a roll, like a line of paper towels off, it gets smaller. And he's like, there's no way to be like, oh, how am I getting abs tomorrow? It's like, yeah, you got to lose fucking more weight to get abs. You know what I mean? Like, your abs are there. You just can't see them.
They're just hidden under
I don't
a-
know if I've ever seen an ab muscle, but like, they're there apparently. So, all right. So we're going to draft cartoon characters today, but I had a couple other things I want to talk about
Finish.
real quick.
Joe Ben Frank.
Oh, sorry. 978-624-7341. You want to get
Shirts.
shirts. You want to get your car wrapped. As Ferg would say, you want to get your casket wrapped. He can do it for you. They're in Middleton, Mass. Tell him you're a Corker, 10% off.
Yep.
Joe's our guy. He's the best of the business.
This is one of his shirts too.
Yeah. That
Brand-
shirt is fucking
brand new.
unbelievable.
That's
By the way,
fire.
subscribe to the YouTube. Get on there. You can see
Yeah.
the shirt. It is a North Shore Beef shirt that Fitzy's wearing, but in the
Notre Dame.
Fighting Irish. All right, so I got to say this real quick. I'm walking the other day. I'm getting my steps in. Here we go. This is how fun it is. But I'm walking. I'm walking by the graveyard where I had that idea about don't visit my grave.
Yeah.
And there's this dude wearing like leather pants. He's all punked out. Ramon shirt, right? Weighs maybe 8 pounds, this guy, right? He's got a fucking mask on, right? Like a COVID mask. Now I'm like, and listen, I'm not sitting here trying to fucking espouse my beliefs or whatever. But I will say this. When did punk stop being like, you know what, dude, I got a fucking mask up on a fucking, at this point? Like, punks used to be like against. Now they're
Yes.
like woke.
Look at fucking Rage Against the Machine.
Dude,
They're fucking the machine.
Maybe he thought
They
his
are.
mask.
They're just the machine now.
yeah.
They
Are
have
they?
to change their name.
yeah,
They don't give
yeah,
a
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
about
Yeah,
raging
that's-
against anything.
that's
They're
true.
fucking falling in line.
Speaking of, put your headphones on. Speaking of woke stuff, I had to screen record this and pull the audio.
Oh yeah, this is good.
All right, another presidential debate down the tubes. The big highlight was they're eating our dogs, they're eating our cats, and they're going to eat your pets. The guinea pigs are going to be no longer. They're going to munch them. They're going to munch the cats. And everybody made fun of Trump for this. But what they don't understand, for those of you that pay attention to the woke media, I'm not woke, okay? We have a severe pet population control problem in this country. We used to be able to neuter pets. Bob Barker talked about it on Every Price is Right? But all of those genital mutilation doctors, right, who used to exclusively reserve their practice for our pets, given the rise of the trans movement, are now converting their practice to humans. So we no longer have enough doctors to neuter dogs. So guess what? What do? Well, you release the Guatemalans. You release the Venezuelans. You release the Mexicans, dude. And you sick them on the pups. It's very simple, dude. Stay woke.
Fucking kid.
My father goes.
Oh,
my
man.
father. I think my
kid
father's
is
like
something else.
You know,
He is
like I'm
fucking
just like I want to
hilarious.
meet this person.
Yeah.
I think my father's is like Joey Boats.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's like that kid has got brains. He's like he's got a brain.
He's fucking smart. He's funny, dude. That rap, the one that's the intro.
Oh,
is
yeah.
like literally like fucking record it, like send it out, dude. You're getting
Yeah.
signed,
Dude, yeah, and that kid is like when I like I'm like that is like there's levels to this shit. You know what I mean? Like of like thought process. Like his brain works on a level that
Different.
is like fucking going like. It reminds me of like it's like I say this about Matt West, who listens to Big Corker. He's like, I never heard you laugh as hard as you laughed when Josh said the thing about he would have sex with Brad Pitt.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you could try to tell a story that Josh tells you, but it won't be funny. Like
No.
it's like you got to have that person telling it.
The delivery.
The
from
delivery.
that person. From him.
Is everything. Is everything. By the way, I have to say this too. When I was doing the show, so South Carolina lost to LSU yesterday at the last minute.
Dude, barely.
So I bet it. Now let me say this: Panuzzo's right. Every fucking gambler's a loser. I get that. I like being a loser. I never like felt a affinity to a college really at all. I like looked at my phone. I was like, just finished playing like Dirty Old Town or something. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, these fucking guys lost.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
Because it seemed like they had it in the bag.
Dude, it seemed like they had it in the back. And Tessa's down there. And I think I said this when we dropped her off. I mean, I'm just going to say this. I'm an old guy. I'm in the sunset of my life. You know what I mean? The girls down there are not dressing like when I was in high school, like the girls dressed like they were about to sing Even Flow. You know what I mean? Like they dressed like they were like in a Pearl Jam cover
baggy
band.
jeans.
Yeah, like it was like I guess they don't like care about like asses inside of shorts anymore. You know, at this school. By the way, she also said to me, probably should say this on Patreon, but I don't know, do it now. She's like, I want to come up with like a costume for Halloween, so we talk about costumes. And she goes, but then I'm worried, like, what if somebody makes fun of this costume? You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what you do is you walk up to that person, you go, oh, I know what you are for Halloween. And they'll be like, what? And she'll be like, you have the best, you look just like the costume. You're a retarded person. I said it. And so I said it, and I was on FaceTime with her and Maggie. And Maggie's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So I go to Josh's house on Friday night, and I tell him that. He goes, gold, a retarded person. He goes, that's fucking awesome. That was great. All right, so we're going to draft cartoons.
Yeah.
I love this. By the way, we've been talking about this for a long time.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. It's a good one.
Cartoons are such a weird thing because it's like if you're as old as me, which I'm older than you guys, when you got up on Saturday morning, it was like, let's fucking go.
It's all
like,
there is.
Fucking Hanna-Barbera, let's fucking go, right?
Yep.
And if you were up early enough, which I was always an early riser, you'd be stuck with David and Goliath and the guy who did the fishing painting show, the fisherman in the fucking painting. He had like a yellow jacket and he'd walk to his shed and then paint you a picture. And they'd be like, let's get to the fucking Transformers here, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
let's get to the meat of this show.
100%. But like, there was no DVR. We're talking about old school shit, right? Now, we're not saying you can only draft classic cartoons, but I'm saying that like when I was a kid, like it was like Saturday from 8 to 12, let's fucking do this.
Yeah.
My list.
It was like Sunday football for an older
I
guy.
feel like, your target audience is like middle-aged men. You know what I mean?
Yes.
For this podcast. No offense, ladies.
great.
So my list is like, all right, pretty much what I grew up with, but
Sure.
I'm a 43-year-old
Yeah.
middle-aged white
So
man.
I
you know
have a
what
question.
I mean?
Before we
Like-
start, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
When you came in to your serial draft, right?
Yes.
You drafted to win the draft,
Yes.
not based off your favorites, right?
This draft, I'm going based off of my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm doing.
Good to know. Yeah.
I
No, me
listed
too.
them
Yeah, yeah.
basically my favorites. There's
Yeah.
some oddball ones you might not. Well, we're about the same age, but
Yeah, I'm 42. So,
like if
I have.
Danny was here, he wouldn't even know some of my
Yeah.
drafts.
Yeah, Danny would be like saying like he'd be like, oh, like the fucking
be like-
Stevenson show. Like, what the fuck is that?
like
After the
Power
draft-
Rangers.
After the draft, I have some fucking deep cuts that some people might not even know about.
Yeah.
One that I recommended to you.
That one's unbelievable.
It's fucking awesome, but it's not my top 5. It's sick though.
Yeah, it is sick. But the thing is that show has 1 or 2 seasons.
Just one so far, I think, but hopefully it comes out with another one.
It was-
See, there's some new age cartoons, but I hit like the Wayback Machine. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Like,
I got a
we're,
mix.
we're talking
I got a mix.
Saturday morning
Yeah.
or after school is pretty much my list.
Yeah.
With the exception of a couple of more adult cartoons.
We're gonna let him go first.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Okay.
We're gonna-
Listen,
Do you
I
know
love
what
my
Leisure
first
Suit
pick.
Larry is?
Yeah, I've seen it.
It was a
they had a
it was
video
a-
game
It was
too.
a game.
Yeah.
And it was like
Well-
this guy like would like
Going,
you would
grab
go around like every
prostitutes.
once in a while he would like go into a strip club and like
Yeah.
some cartoon would take her fucking top off and he'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna go home and
What
fuck
was it?
Leisure
suit
Larry.
Easy
Yeah.
for you to say.
Me too. Yeah.
I will gladly go first.
Or do you want to
I'm
randomize?
okay.
Well,
It doesn't
it's
matter.
up to you.
We'll go. You go first.
Okay.
I'll go second. You go third.
Okay.
That said, before we get into this, I have one more thing I want to do. Talk about. Now, as I said to Kev Meyer, I want to open this fucking guitar store. Like, I
Yep.
want to open a guitar store with Kev Meyer. I'm 65. That's what I want to do. And we're probably going to sell no guitars, right? So there's this guy. I think I've referenced it on the show before, but there's this guy. Me and Kev Meyer are like addicted to his YouTube videos. This guy, Tom Bukovac. So Tom Bukovac's story is, he is a. If you listen to any like big country album, he's the guitar player, right? He's a studio session guitar player.
Mercenary, basically.
He is, but he's a session guy, and he's the best. But he's a piece of shit from Cleveland. He's like us. Like if you're like you could meet anybody, it used to be for me Billy Strings. I'm like it's Tom Bukovac for me. Like, so he's like friends with Keith Urban and all this stuff, but like
shit.
he's just like drinks Yinglings in the morning and fucking is one of the best. Happens to be one of the best guitar players in the world.
This is the
right?
guy you talked about.
Yeah. So put your headphones on. I want to play you guys this. This is just to give you a clip of like what this guy's like.
For a while, I had this little music store with my buddy Rick, the doctor. Shout out to the doctor. It was just me and him, no other employees. So sometimes we would both be there, you know, and it was like a little used consignment shop. And sometimes it would just be one of us, right, if the other one couldn't make it, right? And it wasn't a very big place. There was like a showroom up front, and there was like an office in the back. And I would try to hide in the office most of the time because I get a little claustrophobic in settings where I'm sort of forced to be put in front of people. I'm a bit of a recluse by nature. So I remember one day I was in there and I was in the office, and then you know we had like a whole row of guitars and amps that people could all use shit. People could come in and pick up stuff and just plug it in freely and jam. I remember these two kids came in one day, obviously Belmont jazz students. The one guy picked up a arch top, plugged it in, started playing all these, you know, jazz licks over and over. He knew every jazz lick in the book, but he didn't know how to play them. He sounded like a computer program of all the greatest jazz licks, you know, rushing everything, no soul, and anything like that. And then his buddy started trying to play rhythm for him, and he was equally in need of a little guidance. He was like, you know, he wasn't playing the right kind of rhythm guitar to support the guy. You know, he was too herky-jerky. He was all over, too many chords, all over the shop. So I listened to these guys play for like 15 minutes while I was back in the office, and I started getting a little irritated. So I walked out to the front, and I interrupted them right in the middle of playing. I said, hey fellas, you ever heard that old Southern joke about the two bulls looking down over a field of cows? This, by the way, is not just a joke to me. It's actually like it's the way it's more like my belief system. All right. I said, yeah, there's these two bulls looking down over a field of cows. There's one old bull and one young bull, and the young bull says to the old bull, "Hey, let's run down there and fuck one of those cows." And the old bull says, "Let's walk down there and fuck them all." When I said that to these guys, they just looked at me like I was crazy. They were like,
But you know what cracks me up with that is I'm like thinking like these two fucking jazz students are sitting there and like they don't know that this guy played like on like the last Carrie Underwood album. Like
Yeah.
it was like the lead guitar player. Great guy. By the way, I subscribe to that YouTube channel. You should subscribe to it too. He's fucking best. He was saying the other day, he's like, when I was younger, he's like, you know, he goes, this guy goes to me, he goes, I don't know about that part you're playing. He goes, I looked at him, I go, I know about it. It's fucking awesome. I was like, it's great. All right, so you're gonna you'll draft first. I'll
right.
draft second. Fitzy drafts third. I have some sound queued up. Let's fucking do this thing.
All right, fellas, this is a big one because it knocks a bunch of them off the list in one. Looney Tunes. You got Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny, Sylvester, Tweety, Elmer Fudd. They're all part of Looney Tunes, dude.
Yep.
And like Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote might be my top tier ever. You know what I mean?
It's great.
So I feel like Looney Tunes was like what I look forward to on Saturday mornings the most. So
Okay.
it kind of fucks you guys because you could break those all out, but they were all like 10-minute clips. You know what I mean? They weren't full cartoons. They were part of another cartoon.
Yeah.
So.
Buggy was like, ironically, was like Bugs Bunny was like the fucking guy. Like he was
Yeah.
like the man. Over and done.
What's up, Doc?
Yeah.
And he's part of that. So that was having the first pick was pretty key.
Looney Tunes
Yeah,
is
that's good. Who Pepe Le Pew was involved
Yeah.
in all that
Yep.
too,
Yep.
right?
he was involved
Yeah.
in that.
Damn,
I like how you just said he was involved in all that.
he was an integral part
Like
of
he
the
like
Looney
wa-
Tunes.
like he weaseled his way into it. You know what I mean? Like
Little
Pepe
sneak.
Le Pew.
Elmer
Sneaky
Fudd
little
trying to
fucking
hunt
skunk.
Bugs Bunny, you know what I mean? Like that.
Oh, yeah.
Some quality
There's a lot of 'em.
characters in that one
Yep.
show.
You know when you use those references and like then you realize nobody gets these references anymore. It's like the other day. So Tommy, his glasses, he's been blind since he was fucking born, basically. And I'm like, dude, you gotta wear your fucking contacts like for these games. And he's like, he doesn't like not have his glasses on. And I was saying to somebody like, it's like Mr. Magoo out there. And I looked at them and I'm like, this person's like 40, and they're like, fuck is Mr. Magoo? Like, Mr. Magoo. Like, if you don't know who Mr. Magoo was, he was a very blind cartoon. He was always getting himself into some fucking real problems because of his
Hijinks.
blindness.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm second. I'm taking it off the rip. I'm gonna play the theme song. Okay.
This was probably my second, if I had to guess.
Dooby dooby doo, where are you? We got some work to do now.
By the way, kind of a jam, this tune.
Dooby doo, where are you?
You get two stoners, dude. It's the best.
Dude. Drum is in the pocket on this.
I see you.
All right, so I'm a Scooby-Doo fucking guy. Day one Scooby-Doo truther. You know what I mean? Some people are 9/11 truthers. I'm a Scooby-Doo truther. Yes, the whole idea that they're both stoned, they're idiots, and like Scooby's like fucking just getting snacks. I think it's the best. I think it's my favorite.
It's great.
Of all time.
Live in the mystery
And
machine.
I
you know
always
what
love
I
it.
mean? Like-
Dude, the only-
Shaggy.
the only-
Shaggy's fucking awesome, dude.
The only thing that ever disappointed me was like that
Velma never got naked.
Wow. You know what? I will say this. I want to do a little. When they started making porno, like
No,
Scooby
Daphne. Velma's the ugly
Yeah,
one with
yeah.
the glasses, dude.
Yeah,
She's
Let me-
the thick one, dude. I want Velma
You like
all
that
day,
bob cut?
dude. Yes, all day.
No, I wanted Daphne.
When they started
Definitely.
doing like there was like a porno for like Scooby Doo, and I'm like, I'm not watching this. Like,
No.
don't ever fucking besmirch the good name of Scooby Doo. Like, I don't want to sexualize Scooby Doo. You know?
You seen the meme where it's like, let's find out who the
Yeah.
real culprit is.
Yeah.
It's me.
That's the best one of all time. It's like, who drank,
Drank all my
beers?
beers.
It's me. Yeah, I'm a Scooby Doo guy. I love it. The only thing that was disappointing was that it was always fake because I'm like, I like the like X-Files type shit, and I'm like, oh, it's not really a ghost. It's like just the fucking
Some
Kennedy
guy.
Lake Park operator. You know what I mean? Is the guy?
And the best is like when there's references like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. They're hitchhiking and they end up in the Scooby Mobile with the people who are trying to like save the animals. And Stifler's in there singing like folk songs about saving animals, dude. It's fucking
Whenever
awesome.
they do a real life version of a cartoon, like it sucks. Sucks.
Yeah.
Even the reboots of the cartoons we grew up on
Stink.
suck.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. So I'm going Scooby Doo first off the rip. Fitzy
Yeah.
goes back to back.
All right, so I'm picking The Simpsons. Fuck! The Simpsons, I'm shocked that The Simpsons made it 2 picks. If I had first pick, I would have drafted them first
Yep.
overall. I fucking love The Simpsons. The references in that show, the cameos in that show, they've had so many famous people. It's been on for what, like
The longest running cartoon
29
ever.
years or
Yeah.
30 years or something
Yep.
like that. There's a shout out to Massachusetts, the Quimbys.
Yep.
The whole Quimby family is
The Kennedys.
is the Kennedys.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Right down to the point where Mayor Quimby's like daughter Maria married Rainier Wolfcastle.
Yes.
And it goes hand in hand with fucking Maria Shriver and Arnold Schwarzenegger being married. It's fucking crazy, the parallels.
I
in real
pulled some
life.
sound for you.
Yeah.
Or did
How
I?
is this?
It's a bowl of chowder, sir.
Wait a minute, come here. What did you call it? Say it loud enough so everyone can hear. Come on, say it.
Say it, Frenchie.
Chowder.
Chowder. Chowder. It's chowder. Say it right.
Chowder.
Come back here. I'm not through demeaning you. Well, therefore, you certainly would never lose your temper over something as trivial as the pronunciation of chowder. That's chowder. Chowder. I'll kill you. I'll kill all of you, especially those of you in the jury.
Classic Kennedys.
Oh, it's unbelievable. So good.
Just demeaning the help and then
Dude, how
fucking
funny is
threatening
that?
to
How
kill a
funny
lawyer.
is the Kennedys like? They're like, oh, he's the lion of the Senate, and it's like, oh yeah, he is. He also like left a lady dead, like in the fucking underneath the bridge, like
Yeah.
in fucking Martha's Vineyard.
On Chappaquiddick.
Yeah, Kennedys get
Chappaquiddick.
away with it all.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They actually did an episode where they drove off the bridge.
Yeah.
I think it was The Simpsons. That might have been a different cartoon, but. So
right.
I go back to back. That's solid. That
No,
honestly,
no,
it
he
was-
goes back.
I go back to
Yeah, then I go, then you go
around
back.
to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simpsons is my favorite. I've been watching it since I was a little kid. My mother wouldn't let me watch it when I was really little, but it's my favorite one, hands down.
Definitely a first round pick.
So my next one is going more to the adult side, and I'm picking Beavis and Butthead.
Love it.
I
Solid.
fucking love Beavis and Butthead. Dude, they had, I don't know how many seasons, but I used to sit there watching MTV, and when Beavis and Butthead was first on, they would do like little quick hitters, just like Looney
Yeah.
Tunes would do. So it'd be
Yeah.
like 10-minute, 15-minute segments,
Yeah.
and then they play music videos.
Yep.
So they'd have actual music videos in the middle of the show, and then they'd have like Beavis and Butthead talking over it, like
Commentating on it.
on the music videos, and then they do another 15 minute whatever show. And then when Beavis and Butthead Do America came out, I was like floored. That movie was fucking unbelievable.
The best part of Beavis and Butthead is like when you saw those two kids, you were like, yeah, I know these guys. They work, they do fix cars in the shop at school.
Yeah.
And they're fucking zeros. You know what I mean? And like they were unbelievable.
It was
Yeah.
on my list, but I'll be honest, it was further down the list.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right. So I'm up. Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this right now. This is when I knew like I was you meet somebody, like I've met you guys, and I'm like, oh, these people were born to be in my life. When I met Bob C, right? He used the same obscure reference. He did it recently on the show that I used at one time. I'm gonna hope Maggie's family doesn't listen to the show. Maggie's got a cousin, the total creature of a person, right? And he's like, I always describe him as, it's like you're in a movie, but he is the only one who has the script for the movie. You know what I mean? Like you're like, what's my next line? You know what I mean? And I go to Maggie and go, Jesus Christ, this kid's like Gargamel. And Bob C comes in here and he goes, yeah, I was engaged to this girl who looked like Gargamel. And I'm like, use a Gargamel reference with me. Like you're immediately in the Hall of Fame. Smurfs.
Yep.
Smurfs are unbelievable. I didn't know. I did a lot of research on the Smurfs this week when I was supposed to be getting my steps in. And wild stuff. Like, first he was like gonna eat the Smurfs. Then it was like they had like a magic potion they needed to get for his wand. I didn't know. I forgot Gargamel was a wizard.
Yeah.
One of the worst wizards to ever do it, by
Yeah,
the way.
terrible.
Yeah,
Like a
terrible
fucking-
at his job.
Talk about like a Jacoby Brissett of like wizards. You know what I mean? Like a guy like you're like, all right, when are we getting the new wizard in here? You know what I mean? Like,
Why
we gotta
does
get rid of this
why
thing.
does he dress like Grandpa Joe?
Dude?
He's just
He
got like a
does, he
fucking
does.
terrible nightgown on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
What's his cat's name?
Azrael.
Azrael. Yeah,
Azrael.
yeah.
Azrael. And that cat's like, fucking Jesus, I gotta get out of here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Guatemalans would be fucking eating that thing for breakfast, though. You know what I mean? All right, so I'm going Smurfs. That's my pick.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right, I got a couple. I'm gonna go with an adult one just because it's on the board. I want to get it out of the way. And really, it was like Simpsons than this one for me. So I got to go Family Guy.
It's great.
Fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
I gotta say, I actually find that to be, to me, I think, just for my sense of humor, I think it's funnier to
pushes-
me than Simpsons.
Yeah, well, I think Simpsons is more creative, and just the fact that it's been ongoing for 30 years. Like,
Yeah.
I got into it when I was smoking weed in high school, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, Simpsons goes way back to, like, Sunday nights, like, Married with Children,
Yeah.
Homie the Clown, In Living Color, and then Simpsons. Like,
Yep.
that was the lineup, but... So, yeah, I got to go Family Guy. They're pushing the envelope all the time. I find myself literally, like, cackling sometimes watching. Like, how do
love
they
it.
even get away with this shit?
love
So
it.
it's crazy, but I've never got into Family Guy.
Really?
Yeah, so I've watched a handful of episodes here and there, like as they've been on.
Yeah.
But I just never really got in. All of those, what are the other ones? Like Cleveland and American Dad.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
all those. I
See,
just
I don't-
I never really got into all of those. Not saying that it's not funny, because the clips that I
Yeah.
see from it are fucking hilarious. That baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cracks me
Stewie
up,
is
dude.
fucking hilarious.
Dude, I agree with you though. Like, I'm like, I think it's part of the thing is like, I know what's good for me, what's not good for me. As I say to Panuzzo, I know what works for me.
Sitting watching
No,
cartoons
but I
for
know
6
like
hours
if I
ain't
got
good.
into like one of those shows, like I'd probably just be stuck in it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh man, this is my life now. I just watch fucking
Family Guy.
cartoons. You know, I have to say, I think I've talked about this on the show, but like when Tommy was little, he was like, he's an insane artist, like insane. And I was like, this is so sick. Like, I'm gonna have a kid who's gonna be like fucking next Matt Groening, you know? And now I just have a kid who's like, well, can we get Uber Eats? And like, all I cares about was like the line, like
I
the
want
old
to try
line.
Doobie's wings.
yeah. Like fucking communicate. You know what it was that he got a B in art, and I'm like, how do you get a B in art? And he goes, he just didn't answer or something. And I asked his cousin Will, who's the same grade. He goes, because everybody comes over to him and wants help, and so he just gives everybody help the whole time. And he was just like, fuck this. I don't want to be the fucking art guy. And I'm like, kind of respect, you know? All right, I'm going.
No.
Hold on, I'm back.
Oh, wait,
to
you're back?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, my bad.
There's one that's not going to be here when it comes back around, but I'm not going to take it because it's not. I'm doing my favorites list.
I like that.
It only ran a couple seasons, but Thundercats.
Oh,
Great
Fucking
show.
I
Great
love it.
show. Great show. So it jumped the list. Like I don't think my next pick will be there when it gets back around, but
Wasn't on my list, but it's a
Thunder.
fucking great show.
oh,
it was on my list.
Yeah.
And it was going to be my 5th pick.
yeah.
So you would have got it next round too.
next time around,
Yeah.
but-
But it's definitely worth picking right now. What's that? Your 3rd pick?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Lionel,
Yeah, dude.
Chitara.
Snarf.
Yeah, dude.
Hanna-Barbera
So
had the
good.
market.
Yeah,
Fucking,
oh yes,
Yeah.
dude. Their characters. If we were doing a character list,
Oh.
you could just stay in
Oh,
that
yeah.
cartoon.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it was great. All right, I'm gonna announce mine with we can play it.
We'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe, American hero.
All right, listen. G.I. Joe, when I was a kid, now I'm older, as I said, was like you go to Child World with your mom. By the way, what a name for a store, Child World. It's like sounds like something like on a fucking sex trafficking. Right?
I've never even heard of Child World.
Child World was where
neither
Planet
have I.
Fitness is now in Saugus.
Yeah.
It was like, if you're going to Child World, like, it's on. Like, you're fucking, like, you're stilted to the max. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'd be like, now, the funny thing about G.I. Joe was, in my opinion, the ancillary characters were way cooler than, like, the main characters.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you wanted, like, the ninja. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yep.
ninjas, I said this before on the show way early. I definitely thought ninjas were going to be a way bigger part of my life as I got older. Like, I was like, I would go, there used to be back in the day for all the old school North Shore losers, there used to be a Papagino's right up where in the Buffalo Wild Wings area now. And then next to it was a bookstore, right? With a huge magazine section. And like, I'd be like, can you please buy me this fucking ninja magazine? Like, cause I gotta know how to fucking scale this tree. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta know how to be silent and kill a person.
I want to stealth around and
I
throw
thought,
Chinese
like, I was
stars.
like, dude, I remember when like somebody, then they were like, oh, ninjas really weren't like, they were like the peasant type assassins. Like they were like pulling me. I'm like, dude, ninjas can fly. Like everybody knows this about ninjas. Like ninjas is the fucking best. Like I'd be just drawing ninjas all day. You know what I mean? I'd be like, fucking ninjas. Like dude. If you got a ninja outfit, like your life changed.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I could just assassinate my whole neighborhood.
Some
This thing.
nunchucks.
Yeah, I always thought like I remember like because I definitely have like obviously I think all three of us have like a very kind of a wild creative brain. Like I remember when I saw E.T. Like I got home and I was on my fucking bike and I'm like, dude, they're my neighbors. I was like, I'm pretty sure I can get this thing to fly. Like, you know what I mean? Without ET in it. You know what I mean? I was so pissed that it wouldn't. I was
If
like,
I ride fast enough, I'm gonna lift off.
like if you had any superpower, would flight be the one you'd want?
Flight's sick. Maybe invisibility.
Invisibility, yeah.
Why? Because you're a pervert?
Yeah, I want to creep on Velma.
Oh, that's great. All right. You're up next.
All right, it's time for Fitzy's Corner.
Yes.
The last time Mohan was on the show, I drafted the best cereal of all time, Raisin Big Mix.
Big Mix.
Never
Yeah.
even heard of it.
The year was 1990. 8-year-old Fitzy was getting into more big boy cartoons. Speaking of ninjas, I vividly remember sitting in front of the TV, mind blown, watching Master Splinter rescue 4 baby turtles from a toxic sewer in New York. Set on the floor, crisscross applesauce with a bowl of deliciousness smothered in 2%. I was living the fucking dream and I didn't even know it. I've said it before, but this is the heaven you probably missed because it only ran for 2 years. Raisin Big Mix was rolled oats, rice, cornflakes, and whole grain wheat with cinnamon, brown sugar, and raisins. The mascot was a beast that was pot chicken, pot wolf, pot moose, and pot pig. The 90s were the fucking best. Crushing cereal and watching Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello fight crime was peak living. I could watch these guys scoff pizza for hours. The Turtles creator Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird found the names in a book about Renaissance art. They considered giving the Turtles Japanese names, but decided that the Renaissance artist names felt quirky enough to fit the concept. The pizza-loving reptiles spent each episode fighting bad guys, including Shredder, the leader of the Foot Clan, Krang, basically an evil brain loaded into a mindless, jacked, robotic body similar to someone we know. Then there was Bebop and Rocksteady, the musical duo. A reggae-loving warthog and a rhino that loved rock. The original Ninja Turtle series started in '87 and spawned multiple spin-offs and live-action movies. It continues to entertain to this day. Thanks for listening.
Can I just say this right now? You might have just reached peak Brendan Hearn laughter right there. That might be right up there with George. Because it took me 50 seconds after that to completely process it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles was
Great
awesome.
pick, great Fitzy's Corner. Everything about it besides the Big Mix, which I still don't even think is
Always
real.
by
but-
the
If you could have tried it, I know it was like 2 years that it ran for. That's
Yeah,
it, and they
yeah.
pulled it off the shelves. I don't know what the fuck
Okay.
Kellogg is doing. It's like Fenway.
Two
getting
things
rid
I have to
of
say about
relish.
Big Mix. We talked about this before, but my buddy Chris Collins, who listens to the show all the time, Situate guy, firefighter, saved somebody's life, no big deal, but a big deal. He texted me after that episode, and he's like, "We had a girl in our school that was so ugly, we called her Big Mix." So,
For him to describe the mascot,
dude, the Kelsey brothers have a cereal. Now, I didn't buy it just out of spite because I went to get wings today at the store so I could make wings for Tommy after this. They have a Kelsey's mix, and it's like Reese's Puffs and a couple of Lucky Charms and one other thing in the same thing. Do me a favor, get off Big Mix's fucking corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kelsey's. They're
I
always trying to
fucking hate
fucking
the Kelseys.
Yeah, they
Jason's
stink.
all right.
Jason's all right.
Yeah, Jason's all right, but
He
Travis
tries to be like, I'm not a fucking regular guy. It's like you're a fucking jajillionaire. You know what I mean?
I'm back to back, right? I'm going Tom and Jerry,
Great one.
right?
It's an
That was the
all-timer.
next one.
Yep.
It's an all-timer.
Yeah, it's great, dude.
It never gets old.
It doesn't.
The
'Cause
bulldog, there's
the
so
bull-
many. There's so many. Spike, I think was his
Spike,
name.
I think Spike was the bulldog, and then they had the chicken.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a rooster?
Yeah.
That used to mess with them too.
Solid pick.
Yeah.
Tom and
it's-
Jerry is like AC/DC. it knows what it's good at, and it's just gonna
And it
fucking
just
do
does
it.
Stays in
Yeah,
its
and it
own
just
lane.
does it,
and
yeah.
100%.
does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mouse. What's the mouse? Jerry. Tom.
Oh, no.
Tom's
Tom's
the
the
cat.
cat. Tom's the cat. Yeah,
Jerry's
so
the mouse.
Jerry, yeah.
So Jerry is a little bit of a prick, but you're always rooting for him because the cat, obviously, the cat has the advantage because he's the cat. He fucks up a mouse, whatever. But Jerry's kind of a prick.
Yeah,
he fucks with Tom all the time.
He likes fucking
And
Tom
then
up.
Tom fucking comes in and tries to get him, and he always gets hit with a pan or something.
The best is when he like pulls the hole, his
Yeah,
little
yeah.
mouse hole in the baseboard, and he like moves it.
Dude.
And Tom just smashes into the wall.
I'm a Jerry guy all day. By the way,
I
you know
am
what?
too.
We have Jerry, who we our sponsored race car driver. We talked about
Yep.
a while, but he's fucking crushing races.
Spelled different.
I feel like I need a friend named Jerry. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's not enough Jerrys left in the world. You know what I mean?
I don't know that I even know a Jerry.
Well, you know that Jerry. He's a great Jerry, but he's an Irish Jerry. Kind of doesn't
He's
count.
with the G.
If you're
Jerry
if you're an
with a G.
American Jerry with a J,
With a J?
Yeah.
that's like a real old school name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love that pick.
Yeah.
It's a
That's a
fucking
solid pick.
Solid pick.
Yeah.
All right, I'm up. Okay. I'm realizing a lot of my picks have been taken. This is an old school one. This is for the people in the fucking Jetsons. I'm a Jetsons guy.
Yeah.
My next
George
pick.
Jetson.
Yeah?
Yep.
I don't know enough Georges anymore either.
Hey, George.
Dude, George Jetson, Mr. Spacely was a dick. Let's
Oh,
just
yeah.
fucking be honest
Oh,
about
yeah.
that.
Listen, he was pumping out sprockets though.
The guy's got to make the bottom line. You know what I mean? I understand. Sprocket's got to be made, but
Yeah.
he was a fucking loser.
Fucking riding George all the
I
time.
was just watching the Jetsons being like, dude, someday we're going to fucking fly to work. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this will be sick.
Instead, you got stupid fucking Tesla trucks that look like tanks.
Yeah. It's those Cybertrucks stink, by the way.
Stupid.
By the way-
they're the worst design.
Brian Bach, I don't know if he put a sticker
He did.
on a fucking
He did.
Tesla.
He put it on the
Cybertruck.
fucking truck.
Dude, that is so sick. Now, every single time I see a Cybertruck out, I'm like,
Wonder if that has a PTC.
does that have a PTC sticker on it? Dude,
So-
that's fucking great.
Resident great Corker, Paul Gentile, the Tesla owner. He wanted a Cybertruck, and we're all like, dude, come on. You're going to look like a dickhead in that thing.
The
You know what I mean?
wait list was fucking crazy for those.
And they're like
a
125
buck-
grand
I
or
think they're
something
like
like
a
that.
$170.
Yeah.
A good friend would steer somebody away from that because you look like a complete knob.
Well-
I don't even know who's driving it. You're a knob.
The best thing about Gentile is, though, he, like, doesn't care. He's
Yeah,
like, if I like it, I like it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it is what it is. All right, I'm going with the Jetsons.
Yeah.
That's a solid pick.
By the way, you could make a case that the Jetsons are probably responsible for Tesla. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh man, this
By the way,
really
do those
threw a
batteries
wrench
just
in
die
my-
at some point, and then they...
Yeah. Just like your phone, they don't take a charge anymore. So I think it's years, though.
So you got to lease Teslas, not buy them?
I don't know.
I think like replacing
you-
the batteries like fucking 50 G's too.
It's probably
like
more than
huge
getting
money.
a new car.
So it's it's that woke thing. Oh yeah. Well, what do you gotta fucking mine the
Yeah,
the
you gotta
stuff that
fucking-
goes into the battery.
Yeah, is it cobalt? Is that what they're
Yeah,
mining?
it's
Like,
fucking
yeah,
worse
he's
for
fucking
the-
like 8-year-old African kid out there mining so you can look like a fucking woke loser.
Yes.
But no,
Release the
sorry.
Guatemalans.
no
Sorry, Paul.
fracking. No fracking here, though.
No fracking. Yeah. By the way, Trump got murdered in that debate.
Yeah, I mean,
Murdered.
yeah.
All right.
It didn't go well.
No.
Listen, yeah, he did. Well, I will say, dude, like so I vote a certain way based on what I do for work.
Sure.
I can't, in my right mind, vote for somebody who's trying to bust what I do.
Yeah,
for work.
unions,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? I am a right-leaning independent.
Sure.
Is what I would describe
That's
myself
what I would say
as.
about myself.
But, like, even though I vote liberal a lot, I feel like the moderators were like just putting it on a T for her, and like
Yeah. He's old, though.
I
And you know
feel
what?
like if Trump just shut his mouth, he steps on his own meat a lot. Like if he just shut his mouth,
steps on his own meat.
he'd probably win. He just can't fucking help
I heard,
himself.
I heard he's
though.
got a hammer.
Well, everybody's heard that. You know what, though? I thought about this the other day. He's way better at debating dudes than he is women.
Yes.
Like, because he's just a little emasculated guy.
Yes.
And he doesn't know what to do with a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, unless it's like, who's the fucking porno star he had sex with?
Stormy Daniels.
Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
I will say this, and I'm going to leave it at that. I have always said this, just like you said. The reason I vote the way I vote is because I'll tell you, I went and, like, you go do your taxes, they're like, this fucking small business tax is going away.
Yeah.
Like next year.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's how I can afford to send my kid to college. I don't give a fuck about, I'm a selfish person.
Correct.
We all are, right?
Yep.
I'm looking out for me, Brendan
Correct.
Hearn. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the way. But I'll tell you right now, I didn't do great.
Did you pick one yet?
No.
So you got two?
I got
Yeah.
two.
Back to back?
That's how I'm trying to fucking. I got some solid backup ones for the. We could do a quick fucking rundown of what I had left because I feel like I had a pretty good fucking long list of.
Me too.
All right, I'm just gonna do it. He-Man.
Oh, yeah. I like it. So gay. Gayest cartoon ever.
Put your headphones on.
I like it. Gay.
I do. I think it's a great one. I was a big fan when I was a kid.
You saved us! You really are wonderful!
Listen, I am not nice, I am not kind, and I am not wonderful. You blundering fool! Stop him, you fools! You're all fools if you think you can stop me! You try my patience, witch! Not mumbling, you meatheads! Rumbling! Rumbling! Go,
Can we just
and
all-
don't let me see your mangy hide!
Can we all just admit that Skeletor was just like an old queen? Like, it was just like a gay guy, like in a.
I'm telling you, the whole show. Like, if you watch that now, it's the gayest cartoon you're ever gonna see in your life. And I was a huge fan when I was a little kid. Like,
yeah.
6-year-old me was like, "This is fucking
Dude,
great."
I had one
I
of
was
those
like, ninjas
you know,
and gay
those little-
cartoons, is all I was into.
The little trays that it was my sick day tray. Like my grandfather would make me soup, and I'd sit there and watch He-Man on this like stupid little tray that like sick crisscross applesauce
Yeah.
and have my soup when I was
All right,
home sick.
what was his castle called?
Grayskull.
So
Yeah.
my fucking buddy Dan McNaught, shout out, does not listen to the show. I go over to Dan McNaught's house and I'm like, I got a fucking great story with Dan McNaught, but real quick, he had the fucking castle, and I was
I
like,
had it.
motherfucker,
I had
I'm like,
Badass, dude.
I had it.
Badass. I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That
had
thing was sick.
You want to hear a funny story? Is that Dan McNaught's mom? My parents grew up with this family, McNaught's. His mother was like, we were in like 5th grade. She's like, we were taking swim lessons together, and she's like, I have a surprise for you, a gift. And they always had like fucking the best cereal, and they had a fucking Grayskull Castle. And I'm like, I'm getting a fucking G.I. Joe. I fucking know it. It's sick, right? And I go over there, and it was in a fucking, never forget this, it was in a paper bag. Some people remember when they were like molested for the first time. Like I remember this, right? It was in a paper bag, and it was a fucking, it was a Spider-Man Speedo to wear to swimming.
No.
And I was like, I was already a fat kid. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is the worst day of my life. Because now I got to wear it. Because fucking they gave it to me. So I had to wear, like, picture a little fat little Brendan Hearn putting on his fucking Spider-Man Speedo with his fucking tiny cock, being like, oh, I got to do the fucking breaststroke today in this fucking Spider-Man Speedo. I'm like, dude, I've never recovered from it. Ever. Like, ever.
I
So-
feel like all the He-Man characters wore fucking Speedos. If you're like looking back, they were all wearing like tight
Yeah.
fucking.
It was
But-
gay, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I
it
mean?
was.
Yeah, it was pretty gay. Hey, I got to go back to your G.I. Joe pick.
Yeah.
The best part of that was at the end, Sergeant Slaughter would give you like the the don't do drugs or
Yep.
you shouldn't light fires. Like,
never worked, by the
way. No. But they got Sergeant Slaughter to do a cameo every fucking G.I. Joe episode. It was awesome. All right, I'm gonna go back to adult cartoons. We would be doing a disservice, and I know Joey Boats would probably lose his fucking mind if this didn't get picked. I gotta go South Park.
It's,
That was gonna be
it
my
could have been a
fifth.
number one.
Yeah, it could have
Yeah,
been.
it could have been.
I was thinking nostalgia childhood.
Yeah.
But that's a number one.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's hilarious.
It's
is.
unbelievable.
It's great.
Every time it's on, the channel stays on. Like if
Yeah.
I'm just flipping and I see South Park, I'm like, yep.
And again, the movie,
Yeah. Oh,
dude, the movie.
unbelievable.
So I remember my uncle. I think I was like 13 or
Bless
something. Yeah, I wish. My uncle. I think I was like 13, and he goes, hey, you want to go watch? You want to go see the South Park movie? I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. And it was like, I think it's R-rated, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you needed to be with an adult, and he took me to see that. I was like, this is fucking great, dude. The devil.
The Family
With
Guy.
Saddam Hussein,
Oh yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah. That was unbelievable. The Family Guy movie was really good too.
I've never seen it.
Oh my god.
I told
Quagmire's
ya.
cross country tour. He's got like a Winnebago, and he's like, you mean a Wannabango?
Is he a molester?
He's a creep, dude.
He's creepy,
yeah.
right?
Oh,
he's-
Quagmire?
Yeah.
Dude, I saw a guy driving to New York who had like a newer muscle car and it had giggity. It was the, and I'm like, are you just trying to tell everybody you're a pervert? Like I'm a pervert who drives a fucking fancy car but has no money. You know what I mean? That was Quagmire. I'm going with a deep cut. It's gonna lose me the draft. I don't care. I'm going with the Snorks. I don't know if you remember the Snorks.
I have it, dude.
Love the
Fucking
Snorks.
I was a
right,
Snorks
dude.
guy.
Fucking
Yeah, love
right.
If you don't know what the Snorks were, they were like
You're
the
a
dollars.
fucking loser.
Yeah, they were, you got molested by your uncle. They were the dollar store version of the Smurfs, basically. But they lived
Underwater.
But they all had fucking snorkels.
Dude.
Yeah.
And they all had snorkels. And it was a fucking great show. You know what they were missing was like they didn't really have a Gargamel type guy.
Yeah, there was no real villain.
Yeah, it wasn't like, yeah, it was just
they were
like,
just like living life
they were
down there.
just
But I was
chilling.
like, man,
it was
this
like
seems
the
like a
Care
sweet
Bears
place.
underwater.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it.
Care Bears can
Snorks.
fuck off. Tyler. Those
Yeah,
guys
fuck the
stink.
Care Bears.
Talking about
Snorks-
gay guys.
Dude, Snorks were great.
Yeah.
I loved them. I got a tough decision right
Yeah,
now.
I just.
This
There's
is
some
final,
solid
right?
one.
This is my final
yeah.
one. All right, so I'm gonna go. Man. You guys made this fucking hard, dude.
Your uncle made you hard.
I was just gonna say
You guys
that.
are getting canceled after this episode.
This is good. This is good. This is what the people want.
I'm sitting here right now next to Mohan, and his tits are making me hot right now.
This is what the people want.
Hey, listen.
This is
dude,
what the
I can't
people
help
want.
it that
So-
I got
Listen.
fucking pepperoni nipples.
During,
you know what I mean?
during this weight loss thing, I think me and Brendan probably like went into it with like a training bra. Mohan's like a fucking ample C.
fucking hey, dude.
You got great cans.
Get abused.
Hell of a
Not
rap
by
on
my
this guy.
uncle either. By
Yeah.
Fitzy. Jesus Christ.
Well, maybe by 50's uncle. He's molesting everybody, this guy.
Yeah, get him under control. All right, so my last pick is Garfield. I got to go with
Love it.
Garfield.
Love it.
Garfield is fucking awesome. So many spinoffs, so many like special ones where it was like the Halloween episode,
Yep.
the Christmas episode, just like similar to other iconic cartoons. And then they had the Garfield and Friends.
Yep.
Yep.
Which I used to watch all the time on the it was like on the farm. They had
Yeah.
the ducks and all that shit. Dude, we used to watch that before school. Like we would wake up, me and my brother,
Yeah.
and watch half an hour of Garfield before we went to school. After we ate Big Mix.
Garfield loves
We ate
loves
Big Mix.
lasagna.
Loves
I gotta talk
lasagna.
about a cartoon. So now,
Do you have another pick? Or no.
no,
No,
that's
that's
fine.
it. That
okay,
was
that
it.
was
That
the
was my
final.
fifth.
Yeah.
So I gotta talk about one cartoon I got a real problem with. So now, a lot of people aren't gonna know this, and if you know it, you're gonna be like, this is like when somebody references Gargamel, and you're like, yes, it's like a niche market. When you have young kids, that's what they're watching, right? Whatever's
Yeah.
on fucking the kid channel, whatever the fuck it is. There was a fucking show that ran for a while that kids loved, called Caillou, right? Now
Oh, yeah.
Caillou, right? This little fuck.
Never.
This
I don't
kid
have
was
kids,
this little
so-
bald, yeah. Well,
Little
I'll tell you.
bald
Little
loser.
bald kid, right? Looked like Charlie Brown, but he was always whining.
With bitch tits.
Right?
Zero personality.
Yeah. He was always whining and getting his way. And I was like, but he was bald. And I was like, why is this kid fucking bald? Like, and I was always like, nobody liked it. Everybody was like, there was a bunch of fuck Cailloux on my like Facebook page. And I thought, I'm like, is this a long con that like at the end they're gonna be
He
like,
has
he has
cancer.
cancer,
Yeah,
so you feel bad?
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what?
Fuck him.
I hope he
him
dies. Of
anyways.
it. I hope he dies of it. This kid, he's whining about the fucking zoo. You know what? Don't even give him treatment. Just let him fucking go to the fucking. Let him go to the fucking wolves. You know, this kid. Like throw him into the lion cage. This fucking kid.
Let's not draw this out.
Would you? I always think about that too. Like when people like we've talked about this before. When people are like, oh man, I wish I was around in like the 1800s or whatever. It's like, dude. If you got like a hernia, you're just gonna die.
Die.
You know,
Yeah,
like
literally.
you stub your toe, you're like, there's a fucking 20% chance I'm dying. You know what I mean?
There he goes.
Yeah, yeah.
He had a good 14 years.
He stubbed his toe and he died. Died of stubbed toe. You know what I
Cut
mean?
it off and sear it.
Yeah. Like, oh, you stubbed your toe. You either have to
Cauterize
cut
that
your
shit.
leg
Yeah.
off and hopefully you don't die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck Caillou.
Any other
So I had some serious deep cuts
Okay.
that I want to just talk about. MTV ran a couple crazy ones. Eon Flux.
I don't know that one. Do
Me
you remember
neither.
Daria?
I do remember Daria.
Daria was a spinoff from Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead, yep.
Diarrhea. Cha cha cha. MTV Oddities. You
Nope.
remember that one? No. Great shows if you want to get on them. So the one that I recommended to you, which was fucking fire.
It's unbelievable.
It's Luke Wilson.
Yes.
Which one? Yeah, Luke Wilson. Fired on Mars.
Really? I'm writing that down.
It's so good.
It's on HBO, and
I might rewatch it actually.
dude, it's so good. It reminds me of
Valley
Valley
Heat.
Heat.
Yeah, the podcast. If
When
you
you-
have not listened to Valley Heat,
Have you listened?
You
to
have
that?
to listen
Oh,
to
I
it.
haven't.
Oh my god, you're gonna love it.
All right.
It's like 2 seasons.
Listen to Valley Heat, and then watch Fired on Mars.
Yeah.
and you're gonna be fucking
Hooked.
loving it.
All right.
chuffed.
Celebrity Deathmatch. I don't know. That's more claymation. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
considered
I would
a
consider it a cartoon.
right?
Yeah.
Because
Dude,
I
that
have
was-
Robot Chicken on here, which
Oh,
is
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like.
You guys remember The Critic with John Lovitz?
Yes,
Ooh,
dude,
I loved
that's
it.
a
Oh,
deep
you know what was a
cut.
great one?
They might only had like
You know what
one
was a-
season of
You know
that.
what was a great one? Dr. Katz. Do you ever watch
Yes,
that?
yes.
That was
No, I don't
excellent.
remember
Yeah.
Dr. Katz.
Ben was his loser son.
Clerks. Clerks made a
Cartoon?
I think it was only one season as well. It was shortly after Silent Bob made the movie.
Mm-hmm.
They did a cartoon version. And then Recess. You guys remember Recess?
I don't.
No.
No? Wow.
Listen, I'll tell you, we kind of slacked on the after. I used to like after school cartoons too. Before I like started playing street hockey and riding BMXs and shit, like
Throw out a couple.
DuckTales.
Love it.
Woo.
Love it.
Great one.
What's another one?
Rest-
Bobby's World.
Bobby's
From-
World was great.
I stayed away from the Nickelodeon. They were kind of like niche market.
So
but
me
Bobby's
too.
World
I was not a Nick because as I was
Rugrats is another Nickelodeon one that
Yep.
was like after school.
Ren and Stimpy.
Yep. Oh yeah, I didn't even write Ren and Stimpy. Pinky and the Brain was an after school one.
Pinky and the Brain was on my list, but Pinky and the Brain was part of Animaniacs.
Yeah.
So it was like a small section of
see,
it.
Animaniacs
You could have
was-
drafted
yeah.
Animaniacs, you know what I mean?
But
it-
Pinky
same
and,
as Looney
and the
Tunes.
Brain was the best part of it.
100%. You watched Animaniacs just to see
that.
Pinky
Let me
and
ask
the
you a
Brain.
question. If you were going to construct a cartoon,
Yep.
you'd want a great construction company. You'd want Tedco. All
Hell
right,
yeah.
listen. You talk about what a switch right there. Tedco, my guy Ted. Get in bed with Ted, as I say. Not literally, figuratively. You want to get an addition put on your house. You want to get a basement redone. You want to like do a whole project. He's the guy to do it. 617-996-6827. Teddy, listen, while you're on that job site working to help construct the house, you probably need a belt that's going to hold up your pants.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you about an American-made belt, okay? American Benchcraft, all right? Our guys over there, Chris Angelini and his brother, veteran-owned. They're at Wilmington, Mass. We went there, visited their shop, got belts made on site.
Great operation.
Best belt. The only problem for Chris is we're going to need new belts soon. So we're getting fucking...
I need a new belt.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
There you go.
So-
American Benchcraft, Corker.
All
We'll get you
caps,
20% off.
20% off.
Okay. AmericanBenchcraft.com. Benchcraft, I think, on Instagram. There are guys, field notes. That's where I keep all the names of the people I hate.
They're a union shop too, I think.
Union
Yes.
shop. Everything
Yep.
is, dude, they're the best of the business. And then we got Bella's roast beef.
Bella's Roast Beef, North Andover, Massachusetts. You want a roast beef sandwich? Go see Harry at Bella's. Sandra's there, Harry's there. They're there all the time. 1211 Osgood Street, North Andover, Mass. If you want to look them up online, bellasna.com. Harry is slinging the best roast beef sandwich you're ever gonna get.
All right.
Go there, check them out.
Real quick free ad. This guy reached out to me. He's boys with Ginty. He was like, "Do you guys do ads?" Like, and I was like, drunk at the IA, so I just texted him back like, "I'll just do a free ad for you." Like, I don't have the ability to like write back to this message. I think it's Danny O'Donovan. He owns Patriot Plastering. They're on Instagram. All right, he does it all. Right, so check him out. Right, he's the guy that Tedco is going to get in there to like do your walls. You know what I mean? Like that's what he does.
Finish work.
Seems like a great guy. He's a friend of Ginty. He's a friend of the program. All right, so check out Patriot Plastering. That's a free ad. All right, that was great.
Yeah, I still have some. I can.
Other than
I can
Fitzy getting
throw 'em
molested,
on.
it was awesome. Guys,
and talking about my bitch tits.
I got a
saved
great
that part
story.
for the
I have,
Patreon.
I have a great story for the Patreon.
That's a Patreon talk.
I have a couple great stories for the Patreon.
Do we have voicemails?
We do have voicemails, but I have a couple great stories for the Patreon. We're going to end with voicemails, but they are definitely not for like regular public consumption. You know what I mean? Now, Tommy was bullshitting me last week because I fucked up the video, so he couldn't cut reels. Tommy's going to be cutting the reels for us.
Yeah.
His reels are fire, he says. We haven't seen one yet. I'm going to have him cut Fitzy's corner first.
Okay.
All right? And we're going to see how he does. And if he doesn't do well, we're going to make a move.
You should scrub the audio from last week's Fitzy's Corner and just put it to something.
I thought about that, but then I thought that I'm lazy.
It's tough.
Pay him in wings and beef.
Yeah.
Is that
He called. I don't know if you.
Doobie
I'm sure they
wings.
heard on the show. Like he called during it, and I'm sure he's like, "What are you putting the wings on? Like, what the fuck? Patriots are on. I want my fucking wings." All right, voicemails are up.
Let's go.
Hey boys, happy early Sunday morning. This is great. Get the show knocked out before football. Sit down, enjoy the rest of the day. Hope you guys have a good one. As for cartoons, no particular order. When I grew up, Transformers, Ninja Turtles,
Transformers is a good one.
X-Men, G.I. Joe, and I don't know if anybody else watched it, but there was one called Mask, and it was Mobile Armor Strike Command. That's all I got for you guys, boys. Hope things are well. Brendan, sorry I'm going to miss you Saturday at the Porch Fest. Hope you enjoy the trip. Fitzy, hope I see you there. Have a great weekend, boys.
By the way, real quick, Mark Chebak came out to Chebak. Is that how you say it? I always Chebak. Fucking came out yesterday. One of the best dudes in the fucking world.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Dude, he's the best. Who's asking for you?
What's up, Corkers? I'm going pure nostalgia on my best 5 cartoons. I'm going to give you a 6-man too. We're going to go Inspector Gadget, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Smurfs, DuckTales, and Looney Tunes. Give me Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner running into Acme walls all day. I could do that right now. My 6-man probably wasn't a big one, but for some reason I always loved it. Bonkers.
Ooh, good one.
I don't know why I could cancel that for one season, but it was awesome for me. More importantly, it's my favorite season. And with that came an improvement to the last 20 years of doing this. It's eggnog season, boys. And let me tell you, a working man's eggnog, fucking misguided. I'm going to need to get 17 more bottles. Just fucking delicious. You don't like eggnog, you're probably from the South Shore. Go fuck yourself. See ya.
I happen to love eggnog.
Yo, it's your man Adam Jump Down, and I am back. Man, ever since I joined that Patreon, I feel like I've been in a time warp. And I just haven't been following up on these voicemails. We are slacking, we are lacking, but we are back. Yeah! Guys, cartoons, I'm going to tell you what. Being an 87 born kid, nothing but Donald Duck, Bugs Bunny, and I'm going to tell you what. It's a Muppet. It's a cartoon character. Fucking Chef from the Muppets.
Go
Top
on.
3 right there for me. Maybe Dumbo, because some people think I'm a Dumbo. Maybe so. We don't know, but we do know. One thing we do know is we're keeping the quality high. Jump down.
Go.
All right, one more.
What's up, fellas? I get James Cook tonight. Already got 3 TDs, 2 rushing, receiving, a complete wagon, just like I'm going to be on Sunday when I tune you guys up. on this cartoon draft. I got a wagon of a lineup already. Good luck, fellas.
I'm a little less confident now.
Let's go.
I thought it was a great draft.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it was
everyone,
good. It was
everyone
pretty
has
solid.
good picks.
You know what it was? It was nostalgia. That
Yep,
was what it
exactly.
was. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's what you're looking for in that situation.
So I had Transformers and Inspector Gadget on my list too.
Yep.
That
Inspector
just-
Gadget's money.
Yeah, money. Flintstones too. We kind of slept on the Flintstones. I almost took
Dude,
them.
so I thought about that a lot, and I was a Flintstones guy.
Yeah, but I wasn't. I was always like, when's the Flintstones over? So that Yogi Bear, dude.
Dude,
Yeah,
you just
Yogi
referred
was
to
a
the
good one.
Flintstones like it was like Schindler's List. You're like, what's this fucking black and white movie over so I can get to the good shit?
Yogi Bear. Hey, boo boo. That's a good one too.
Yep. Popeye.
Popeye's a good one.
Popeye was there. I wasn't gonna. Probably
love
draft
Popeye.
it,
Fat
but
Albert.
Popeye. Yeah, Fat Albert was good.
Racially
SpongeBob.
insensitive, but-
SpongeBob is another like kind of adultish one.
SpongeBob, I didn't watch until I had kids, and
I
my
love
kids
SpongeBob.
started
Yeah.
watching it.
I'm
Yeah,
a
it's not.
SpongeBob
It's
guy.
not bad.
But yeah, there was a million we could have done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
SpongeBob's great, actually. I'm a big SpongeBob fan. Tommy's a huge SpongeBob guy. I loved it. I used to watch it all the time with him.
Yeah, it's good.
That was very entertaining.
Yeah.
There was a great show, Mohan. If you would have liked this, if you had to dive into shows when your kid was, and they like turn over so quick now, like the kid shows that like if you're only from one generation, you'll know it. If you don't, but there was a thing called Jack's Big Music Show, and they'd have like fucking a famous musician come on. It was like Muppets kind of. And then they'd play tunes, and I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Like, it's like a concert every Saturday morning. And then Caillou would come on, and he wouldn't die of cancer. And I was like, fuck. I was like, when's this kid gonna get molested by his uncle? You know what I mean? When's something cool gonna happen to the show?
Classic Caillou.
Wasn't there a Carmen San Diego cartoon too? You used to they made it a cartoon.
Dude, that was a
like,
great computer game earlier
Yeah,
in
it
the day.
was.
Yeah,
The-
one
one
of
of
the
the
World,
best.
where in the world's this bitch?
Yes,
You know what I mean?
where is Carmen?
Original Nintendo had that game.
Yeah.
And me and my brother used to play it.
I
all
had
the
it
time.
on a floppy disk.
Did you?
Yeah.
I
That and
I'll tell you right
Oregon
now.
Trail, dude.
Yeah.
Oregon Trail has got to be like the goat.
It's like you just died of syphilis.
dysentery.
Like, you decided to fuck that prostitute on the side of the road. You died of syphilis.
You get out of the wagon and you were trying to shoot fucking buffalo and you didn't somehow. Your musket missed the buffalo.
Dude, imagine like I don't know why I'm fascinated by that, but like I am recently. Like it was like feel like in the medieval times, and you're like in this little fucking stone house, and you're like you just be like people are like I got problems now. Like I want to go get therapy. It's like, dude, back then
you didn't
like,
have time to
you're like
worry
a
about your
cauldron.
problems.
I
with,
might
like,
not eat for like a week.
and what I eat might kill me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, last thing I gotta say. Well, I'll say this with Patreon. All right, so listen, show's back. It's better than ever. People getting molested by their uncles. Cartoons. We got a new.
Brendan loves
BA's
that.
on the
Brendan loves that
upside of
story.
the manic depression.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
manic now, so the
He's
show's
fucking-
back.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, like wait 2 weeks. It's gonna be
I
canceled.
dated a girl that had bipolar. It's a little bit of a ride.
I know, yeah, it is. It is. It doesn't get better, by the way, folks. I just want to let you know that. Enjoy it while it lasts. This fucking show's done in 2 weeks. All right, we love you, Mohan. Thank you very
guys
much
for
for
having
coming
me.
on.
A
Thank you
pleasure
for,
as
by the way,
always.
the gifts of the A&W Zero
And
Sugar
my
Root Beer.
stick.
Yeah.
Great stick.
Yeah.
If you smoke cigars, I had one for you too. But
Good.
Yeah.
Only smoke pole. All right, bye.